Happy Friday, everybody. In today's 5 Minute Fridays, we're going to be talking about the top Microsoft Inspire takeaways. For those that don't know, Microsoft Inspire is Microsoft's annual worldwide partner conference. This has been going on for years. It used to be called the Worldwide Partner Conference. With Microsoft kind of consolidating, we've got Inspire, which is again for partners. We have Ignite, which is their annual IT professional and developer conference. We have Build, which is definitely more focused on developers, and Microsoft Ready, which coincides with Inspire or overlaps, which is Microsoft's fiscal year sales kickoff. So all of these different conferences go on. Microsoft starts their fiscal year at the beginning of July. So Inspire and Microsoft Ready are a couple weeks after that start date, and really gives their sales team and their partner community an idea of what their priorities are for the year. So I was able to go attend and pick up a couple of the top takeaways that I think would impact Red Level's clients. So for introductions, my name is Justin Coffey. I'm the Microsoft Practice Director at Red Level, and this was my 8th consecutive Worldwide Partner Conference / Inspire, and this is the first time I can say, and this was, definitely a big moment. I ran into Satya Nadella, Microsoft's CEO, following his core note on Wednesday. We're going to talk a little bit more about where and how that came to be on one of the slides, just because it was a really, really cool moment, and it played into one of the themes. So we'll kind of come back to that, but definitely a great moment to meet one of the people I really admire, and has done a phenomenal job transforming Microsoft and kind of where they are today. So jumping into the top takeaways, the first one, and this was a major theme, was empowering citizen developers. So Microsoft has a massive portfolio of professional developers, and that's only going to continue to increase. But with the amount of changes in digital transformation that clients are experiencing day in and day out, it needed to go beyond just the writing of the code and building kind of the complex. We needed to, or Microsoft rather, needed to empower those power users that they've kind of called citizen developers to be able to transform certain, maybe smaller scale, but depending on the application, it could have a major impact within their specific organization. So what does that really look like? That really focuses on Microsoft's Power Platform. So it's a one low code, or in some cases no code, platform that spans Office 365, Dynamics 365, and standalone applications. You can leverage Power BI and Power Apps and Flow to kind of achieve all those pieces. But one of the ones that really caught my attention, and it was shared in the core note, was the AI builder capability, which you can see in the bottom middle with that blue turquoise color. It's now possible with just clicks to start to incorporate AI into your Power App applications. Power App giving you kind of point and click to build mobile applications and things like that. They demoed a Pepsi distributor creating an app that counted Mountain Dew bottles and was able to kind of then move into Flow, which provides simple drag and drop workflow automation to update business applications and help with figuring out, when do we need to order more inventory, what products are being bought more than others, and kind of just pull it all together. So there's a ton of use cases for that. And again, AI is one of those things that we typically feel is restricted to the, very smart, the ones that are data scientists and things like that. With this new capability with AI Builder, it's drag and drop. There's probably a low entry point for, just your average employee to be able to figure out those capabilities and start to develop use cases and then mature them as things go on. So really, really cool there. Number two, Microsoft Teams overtook Slack with daily active users. Now, in of itself, that isn't a crazy announcement, but it just shows the momentum that Teams has compared to the original quote unquote market leader Slack. And you can just see based on the visual that the just exponential growth that Teams has experienced is transforming the way that people use Office 365. Microsoft really has viewed Microsoft Teams as that hub for teamwork and are really looking at it as being that natural and next evolution transformative piece within their teamwork and collaboration stack called Office 365. Um, it's really four different products in one when you look at it. So depending on your organization and use case, it's not that Teams has to be one thing or another. Depending on where you guys are at, you can pick whether it's just starting with online meeting and conferencing capabilities. It could be starting to use the channels. But a theme at Inspire was starting to create industry and customer specific custom solutions that just live within Teams via tabs and various integrations. That's definitely longer, a little bit more down the road if you're just getting started, but it really shows how we can empower both our knowledge workers within our clients, as well as our frontline workers, those ones that typically don't sit at a desk with a dedicated computer, that are running on mobile or through a shared kiosk device via web browser. So it's empowering them to be as productive, have access to the right information, leverage business process automation, all within the same common product being Teams. So really, really cool stuff there. Then lift and shift to Microsoft Azure. So there's a lot that Microsoft and analysts are projecting that this is the year Microsoft has the highest level of migration to Microsoft Azure. And the big reason why is that when SQL Server 2008 and 2008 R2 just hit end of support a couple weeks ago, I think last week. So now that's reached end of support. Windows Server 2008 and 2008 R2 are coming up in January. Now, based on Microsoft's information, they believe that 60% of their install base for Windows Server and SQL Server 2008 are still out there. That represents 24 million instances, which means that there's a lot of either, depending on SQL Server, is now out of support. So definitely if you're running SQL Server 2008 or 2008 R2, it's worthy of a conversation so we can kind of discuss plans and some things there. Windows Server's upcoming, so a little more planning. Don't have to rush decisions on that one. And the reason why Azure is so important here is because Microsoft is allowing customers to lift their existing Windows Server and SQL Server 2008 and 2008 R2 workloads from their on-prem or hosted data center environments to Microsoft Azure and receive a couple more years of extended support. So you have those security and other critical updates, which is really, really important for security and compliance. Once you're on Azure, there's a ton of reasons through cost optimization and really just optimizing the workloads, or if you're looking to mature, you can do application modernization. It's almost endless, and that was a massive theme, is that just get those workloads up to Azure. From a cost perspective, if you optimize it, it can significantly reduce what your operating costs are for that, and allow you to enable new experiences, deliver better user experience to your employees, to your customers, increase performance, the list goes on and on. So definitely a lot there. Next one, and this is going back to the picture that I had with Sadia. So diversity and inclusion was a big theme this year. And I know we've heard a lot about it, but Microsoft had a diversity and inclusion booth, which was really an experience. It was kind of you walk in, it's very dimly lit, and just video panels all over the place, and just telling stories of some of Microsoft's own employees and the struggles and challenges they've had. We know that, of course, Microsoft's not the only person that has diversity and inclusion issues. It's virtually, probably almost every organization on the planet, that there's probably some level of challenge there for employees, because the best way to look at this is that this isn't a simple thing. Diversity means a lot of different things. And one of the sessions that I attended, kind of positioned it so the moderator kind of asked, how do you see the difference between diversity and inclusion? And one of the panelists said diversity is more of the who, the inclusion is more of the house. Where diversity is, it could be your race, it could be your sexual orientation, it could be your status, from an income perspective. There's so many different pieces there that make us different. Inclusion being the house is how do we bring that all together? How do we make sure that everyone feels comfortable and empowered to do their best work and to feel safe and trusted and all those different things? So when I was in there, I was recommended to go as part of another session I was in by one of Microsoft's corporate vice presidents. I had a session nearby, decided to, stop into the booth, and it was an extremely emotional experience. And I looked over and I was like, is that really Sadia? Just, casually walking around and experiencing it clearly for the first time too. And I walked up to him. We had a quick conversation on diversity and inclusion and all those different pieces. And it was just incredible to meet him, just because I know he's lobbied this extensively and not quite on the, I didn't list it, but something that's going to be new to Microsoft this year is Sadia's continued push for empowering all those in the organization, even those with disabilities, to have accessibility. So Microsoft is going to double down and make significant investments in continuing to make things accessible for them. And that goes back into diversity, where even those with disabilities are going to be able to have a home within Microsoft and feel included. So really, really cool. It's something that everybody should be thinking about. The next one is security and compliance. We know that cyber risks aren't going anywhere. Microsoft did a lot. Azure Sentinel is a great cloud-first, cloud-native SIEM tool that we heard a lot of great things about from some major panelists like Accenture and other global consulting and professional services firms. There's a lot of investment within Microsoft 365 for security and compliance, and there's a lot within the Azure Security Center, Azure Policies, Azure Blueprints, the list goes on and on. But the theme here is that with cloud becoming not even cloud first, but cloud only in some cases is a new term we heard for a lot of enterprises, that we're now moving from cloud first to cloud native to cloud only. It's going to be really incredible to kind of see what that all looks like, but being able to secure and maintain compliance in this cloud first, cloud only world is going to become extremely important. An announcement that came out is Microsoft is, I think it's expected to launch within the next week or two, is a security competency in of itself. So Red Level is already working on achieving that new competency. We have a lot of the checkboxes already met, and it's something that we are definitely going to continue to invest in and really look to help a lot of our clients with. So that was 5. This one's so important though, because I talked to customers, so I'm giving you a bonus number 6 for this Friday, is the future of Microsoft licensing and what that looks like. We know that Microsoft has traditionally made things challenging. So when we look at this slide or this kind of image, there's enterprise agreements for the larger 500 and more user kind of organization. That's been how Microsoft's transacted for their mid to large size customers for virtually forever. Select agreements were for a select segment similar to an EA. You have CSP that came into the mix, and then the website. Just go to Microsoft.com or Azure.com, put in your credit card, and voila. And you can see that there's a lot of things here, different programs with different offers and different agreements and different price points and blah blah blah. And we can even see, Gartner, one of the analyst companies out there, cites this complexity is a key pain point. And knowing some of the conversations I've had with some of you for our existing clients, trying to navigate that is a mess, and it's overly challenging, and it takes away our focus and energy from doing things that really, really matter within the organization. So what Microsoft has done, and I'm so happy to see this, it's a long time coming, is enabling a new commerce experience to make life simpler for customers as well as us as partners. So the goal is that they will have a single price list, or what you can view it as a single set of offers for both Microsoft first-party offers as well as partner third-party offers, again, on a single price list. We as partners would sign a agreement called Microsoft Partner Agreement that puts us all on the same page. So it doesn't matter whether you're a large software licensing partner like CDH, SHI, or Dell, Red Level, those guys, anybody, we're all signing the same thing. So it kind of levels that. Then customers have one single agreement called a Microsoft Customer Agreement that they all sign. There's a single base agreement that has all the same terms and language in it, and then based on what products, what method, is it a Microsoft-led channel, self-service, or a partner-led via CSP, they'll just add a couple kind of amendments to that Microsoft customer agreement, but for the most part, it provides a level playing field. So ultimately, this is going to empower Microsoft's customers to buy through whatever channels they choose. The way that it's really looking is for those larger enterprise, they will continue to be Microsoft-led. For more of the mid-market and smaller SMB or small to mid-sized business customers, they'll have the option of partner-led via CSP through this new model, or self-service if they are very independent and just want to continue to do things the way they want to with a credit card. We're kind of expecting that to be more of the sub 10, sub 15, or the ones, the startups that don't quite need a partner yet. But that's all going to come out once this launches. So the big announcement here is that this new commerce experience has already begun. Microsoft Customer Agreements already in market from earlier this year. In a Microsoft-led motion that will scale to partners, and I think self-service as well. Effective, I believe it's November 1st or around that time frame for specifically Azure. And then in Microsoft's upcoming fiscal 21, so a year from now, sometime in that next fiscal year, we'll see Microsoft 365, which includes Office 365 EMS and Dynamics 365. All those different pieces come over. So we'll have kind of the full cloud stack available on that single price list and set of offers. And then I think in the second half of Microsoft's fiscal 21, so I think we are now, if I'm doing my math correctly, I think that's 2021, the first half of 2021, all the on-premise software licensing will have full consistency there. So gone are EAs until I say EAs will probably exist for a little bit just because of the existing contract lengths. But the goal here is that in the next couple years we'll have this consolidated motion. It's where Microsoft's going to be steering their customers, and it will provide simplicity in what that looks like. And again, enable us to focus less on licensing complexity, more around enabling and delivering solutions that help you transform your business for the future and all the things that we need to plan for. So a little bit over on this week's 5-Minute Fridays, but there's a ton of amazing announcements that came out. This was only just a sneak peek. I know that we're going to be talking a lot more with our clients on a one-on-one basis, and probably with some upcoming webinars with some of the more in detailed announcements, but really, really exciting week in Las Vegas. And I know that we're going to be able to really keep kind of that momentum up for Microsoft Ignite later in November, when it's more product focused and we have more capabilities there. So with that, I really hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday and enjoy your weekend. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you.